And I just feel like at that point of the G word coming out, I'm like, my automatic defense mechanism is to find every reason as to why not to be right.
Hey guys, and welcome to Little Black But 91. We're talking to you guys about Love Island UK 2021 season 7. We're dealing with Faye and her self-sabotaging issues. Yes, Faye and her self-sabotaging issues. We really want to break some stuff down about herself and Teddy's relationship. They had an explosive end as well, with the video coming out of her talking to Sam and some of the stuff that he didn't know about, and we want to break those stuff down. So guys, if you're new to the channel, do me a favor, like it, share, subscribe, click on that bell button for notification of what the uploads. For those of you who are returnees, you got the minerals, you got the damn let me do that again. You got the minerals, you got the minerals. Listen, I had to just break that again. Stay hydrated. Right, grab your bottle down below as well. Support the causes out here, baby. Grab your hoodie as well. Send them back to the manufacturer. But stay hydrated because them streets are hot. All right, before we get the conversation flowing, let's get the outro going.
Little Black But, you know what time it is.
Yes, we're talking about Faye and talking about Teddy. They have been through the wars. They have survived bombs. They've survived blizzards. They've survived the Love Island producers up until now. Okay, and we'll just talk about that a little bit later on. But I want to first talk about the conversation that they had, and also the conversation that she had with the girls, where she began to self-sabotage. She began to say how she felt about the relationship with her and Teddy, and she spoke about how, you know, he likes jazz music, I like this, and it was clearly a case of self-sabotaging and putting herself down, which the girls had to encourage her. The only thing with this is that when people self-sabotage, they're going to self-sabotage and nuke everything in sight. And if she does not start to get with the program and start to feel safe with Teddy, bearing in mind he's done what he needs to do to keep her safe. He's won her back when he came back from Casa Amor. Even though she was with somebody else, you know, he's done all that to prove that he likes her. And also now they're talking about the big G word. The fact that we have to mention this G word is really problematic. Why are we mentioning G word? How old are we? But girlfriend, right? And she starts talking about how has a self-defense mechanism. We can watch a little bit more here.
Rather than Y2B.
You're starting to find out Y2B.
No, I know Y2B, but I would be mortified if you...
And before she even talks about what she's going to talk about in a second, you know, Teddy interrupts her and says, obviously, you're finding reasons why you should be rather than why you shouldn't be. And she already knows that, because a self-sabotager knows why they should be in a relationship or shouldn't be in a relationship, right? That's never their problem. Their problem is the fact that, you know, they have a fear of intimacy. Yeah, they fear, you know, not being worthy. They fear success. They fear, you know, being a failure. Right? They want to be in control, because what they feel like is this is going to end like all other relationships. That means abandonment from parents, or, you know, failed past relationships with other boyfriends or girlfriends. And they want to be able to control the situation and get out before someone else gets out before them, even though that might not be the case of the current partner that they're with. Right? So a lot of these feelings of self-sabotage are actually rooted in fear. And so when we fear, we cause ourselves to run away from the main problem and deal with our actual selves. And that's what she's facing at the moment. She spoke to the girls and said, I don't think I'm good enough. That was a lack of self-worth. I don't feel like I'm good enough for Teddy, right? And that was a lack of self-worth coming through where she's about to self-sabotage. Now, she did mention something which is really interesting. She mentioned about family are brutally honest, and he's really, really kind. Now, I think a lot of us on Black Twitter took it as, she got a racist family. Racist. That's what you meant to say, darling, right? And that's a possibility. I mean, we bantered about it on the TL. Some of us took it more seriously than others. It may be the case. It may be the case that as she thinks about the future, she realizes, I've got a black boyfriend, and how are my parents going to react? It's a real conversation, and I think black men especially, I'm going to digress real quickly, black men especially need to do a better job of actually educating their white women. I'm just going to be real with you. Whenever you see oftentimes black men dealing with white women, it doesn't always feel like there's education from their end. It doesn't always feel like that. Whereas with black women, it always seems like they are seemingly educating white men when they're with them. And so there's this contrast in terms of behaviors. I'm not saying that's all the cases. I'm not saying that's every black male. But from what I've seen myself, when I see black males dating white women, I rarely see them being educated. You know what I'm saying? Hold on a second. I rarely see them educating the person that they're with, right? And there's a lack of educational and a gap there that happens in the instances. Again, this is not all people. But I digress. Let me come back onto Faye and onto Teddy.
You asked me to be your girlfriend the way that Jake did with Lib.
I wouldn't ever do that. It's not my style.
I know that. But that's all I need to say on it. And I need to stop
Okay, so if she knows that Teddy would never ask her to be a girlfriend the way that Jake does, why did she mention it in the first place? She already knows he's not going to do that, right? That's what fear does, right? You see how fear is playing into her thing? Oh, I know. No, you don't know. Or let's say you do know, but fear is now clouding your judgment. So you are talking about something that you already know he would or wouldn't do, right? And that's what we're talking about when it comes to fear. It paralyzes people and it cripples them and it moves them into spaces where they do things that they don't really need to do. Okay, so it's very important to analyze your actions as to where the motivation comes from. What I would say about Faye is that she's a straight shooter. Okay, she doesn't hide her feelings. When she talks about the sandals of Teddy, it was quite straightforward. Okay,
living in and worrying about the future that hasn't happened yet, and just be here and present with you now.
Yeah.
She's very a straight shooter, very direct of how she feels. Like she said, brutally honest. And I always say this, people who are actually brutally honest oftentimes don't know how to curb their tongue. They're not brutally honest. They're sometimes just hurtful, right? And they're not finding a good balance. You can be truthful, you know what I mean, without hurting people's feelings. And I have a feeling that this is going to end in hurting people's feelings, right? Because whenever we say, oh, I'm brutally honest, or I'm the brutally honest kind of person I am, you ain't really. You just cut people. You know what I mean? Truth without love, it is not truth at all. This is what the whole point of understanding. Truth without love. If you're one of those people that, I'm a straight shooter, I'm brutally honest, I'm going to give you straight, no chaser. Are you really giving that person truth in love? Or is it to satisfy your ego to say it the way you want to say it? We want to be able to communicate message that people actually understand. That's my honest video point here. We'll play a bit more of the clip and then we'll go to the end.
Things are good in my mind, I see her as my girlfriend. Ideally, I'd want to make her my girlfriend.
So obviously Teddy's very much invested. He wants to make her his girlfriend. He wants to be able to make her mine, right? And he really has been intentional about the way he's pursued Faye. She should feel safe knowing that Teddy actually really wants her. Came back from Casamore by himself with a teddy bear. Yes, he did one little kiss, but that was actually in a challenge. And also as well, he chased after her and made sure that he won her back. But self-saboteurs do not see that, right? Self-saboteurs don't do that because they're here to protect themselves. They don't want to get hurt again. Let's look at the thing.
Oh, shit.
I was sharing a bed with me anyway.
Yeah, it was alright actually, to be fair. You're good to share a bed with.
Thank you.
I went for a wee, I came back and gave you a spoon. I'll big spoon for a bit.
Now you can see obviously here Faye is cracking up. He's not cracking up. That's normal because if you watch the clip, who's going to feel happy about watching their partner crack on with someone else, right? Nobody's going to feel comfortable with that. That's not to be expected. I think where Faye kind of just missed it a little bit, because we need to have context. We'll see tomorrow's episode or whatever. It's just around here. So as you can see, she's cracking up, fully laughing now, etc., etc. And Teddy's starting to feel it, right? Because remember, like I said, when people are brutally honest, what they really are is just that they're actually just people that like to hurt other people. You see, you gotta know how to curb your behaviors and know when to do them, right? I'm not even trying to even shoot Faye too hard, but I want to shoot her hard, right? Because I gave Kaz all smokes, right? Faye's laughing here is a part of deflection. And she says obviously she told him everything, but he actually says in the clip that she hasn't told him everything. And actually this goes both ways, because she says obviously he hasn't told her everything that happened in the clip too. So both of these people are feeling very, very hurt at this moment, but because she's a self-saboteur, he's going to find it very difficult to try and get her back. Now, here's an extra added part. When we see the clips for next week, how she's shouting and screaming, we're not about that life. That's overly aggressive. There's no need for that. I'm sorry. You know, black people don't get to get away with it. I'm not going to allow the white people to get away with it. That's overly aggressive behavior. There's no reason for her to be that, right?
I didn't know about that though. I asked about it and I didn't know.
Don't deep, bro. Remember what I've been doing as well.
What do you mean you asked about that? What do you mean you asked?
I asked about it and she told me no. It is what it is, isn't it?
So that's where the tension is going to come from. He said he asked about it and she told him no, you know. So that's where tension is going to come from with Teddy and also Faye, right? I want to just head up to this last part of the clip and see if we can get it for tomorrow's. Okay, sorry. Let's just go back. Yeah, tomorrow night we'll go back. You know, I think the producers have really tried to get these two to break up for a long time. I'm not gonna lie to you, they've been throwing Hail Marys at these guys for a very long time, right? I want to watch a bit of this clip here.
Hits the rocks.
I told you the truth, and you told me jack shit of what was on that fucking screen.
I lied to you. No.
Yeah, you didn't fucking tell me the truth, did
No,
you?
I didn't lie to you.
Fucking tell me the truth.
See, that right there is aggressive. I'm sorry, you can't do that. Listen, I understand that we're getting heated. I understand, but that's, you know, you've been all aggressive up in here, man. Poor brother out here getting shouted at, harangued at, and sworn at. The brother deserves better than this, man. Look how he came all polite and comfortable and said, listen, look, that's not what you told me. Da-da-da-da. Why is she raising her voice to that high limit? You know, it's overly aggressive. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? That's not cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure Fiat 500 would not have a problem with it. They will probably say it's normal. She deserves to say what she's saying. But hey ho, Teddy, listen, like I said, you don't want to be joining Daniel Kaluuya and Get Out Part 2. Okay, you don't want to be joining them. Okay, sir, get out before you have to get out. Okay, appreciate you guys. Stay locked and stay loaded. As always, subscribe to the channel.
Live black.